Is the internet killing empathy? Is declining empathy technology's fault? Are humans as a whole getting less and less empathetic? I can agree that technology has done very many wonderful things for humankind to advance, but what are the negative effects that we should be aware of? So I was listening to this podcast on mindfulness where a man named Bressy was interviewing Jamila Jamil, and they were talking about really important topics revolving around negativity online. And one thing that Jamila said that really stood out to me was how the blue light of screens that are emitted from screens psychologically and physiologically changes us so that we are less empathetic. And this makes sense because when you're in front of a screen, you miss a whole lot of social cues and body language that are key to empathy. Key. And after doing a really brief internet search, I saw that this is a rather prevalent issue with today's youth that are practically born with an iPhone in hand. There are a lot of articles revolving around how much screen time is too much screen time. And I saw the actual research of it. It was saying that how maintaining eye contact, like this, maybe not so creepily, but maintaining eye contact is crucial for building relationships. Now, not only between mother and child, but also between adults, because it builds trust. There was also a comment about how the whites of human eyes are rather big to enable us to be able to easily find our eyes so that we can maintain contact with them, because this has been a sort of evolutionary advantage to maintain and foster strong relationships for the good of the tribe, the good of human survival. And if we're staring at a screen, even if it's with FaceTime or with Zoom, you still can't maintain eye contact that way. See, take me, for example, right now. I'm looking you right in the eye, but really I'm just looking at my iPhone camera. And we've seen the rise of technology, of our reliance on technology, especially this year with the pandemic and the need to social distance. So how do we see the effects of this today? How do we see this even on this very platform? I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and chances are if you're watching this, you do too. And this is probably something you see as well in the comment section. It's really easy to come across just negativity and internet trolling and cyberbullying in the comment section, you know, not just on this platform, but like any social media platform. And I just think it's really interesting to see how brave people will be in stating a point that they feel strongly about and posting it online so that virtually anyone can see it. But can you imagine that person doing it in real life? Can you imagine this person, you know, having a stage and a platform and a bullhorn in front of a sea of people stating this opinion that a lot of people do not back, that they don't agree with? Can you imagine that that person would have the same amount of courage in real life? I know I definitely wouldn't. And I've seen this in my own life, not necessarily with technology, but with road rage. See, I'm typically a very nice and amicable person, as I'm sure you can already tell by my videos. But there's something about being behind a wheel. There's something about when someone cuts me off in Seattle traffic that just brings the worst out of me. I was telling this story about how I was in a turn lane. I was in the right turn lane. There's two turn lanes. And as I was turning left, the person in the left turn lane honked at me. And I'm assuming they thought that I was supposed to go straight, that it was a one lane, turn lane only. But I was infuriated. I was so angry that as soon as I got out of the intersection, I slowed down so that this person could catch up with me and pass my car. And I rolled down the windows, and this was all like in a very busy intersection, busy road. I rolled down my windows just so I could cuss this person out as they drove by. And someone told me that if I wouldn't do it on the streets, then I shouldn't do it in the sheets. That's not it. I cracked myself up Someone actually told me that if I wouldn't do it on the street, then I shouldn't do it on the road. And I think the same rule applies online. So I urge you, before you post, before you reply to a comment or, have a comments war, or in my case, honk at someone on the road, just ask yourself, what sort of impact would this have? Has this person heard this already? And is there maybe something that's happening in this person's life that I'm not aware of that would make them act that way? Would this lead to a more positive or negative experience? And is it worth the energy expenditure? Now, I'm all about standing up for what you believe in, freedom of speech, all that good jazz. This is really just a matter of picking your battles and knowing when is the right time to speak up, but also knowing when there's enough negativity and bad stuff going on in the world already that if we were to all just stop and think for a second on how our actions affect other people, this is going to sound very Miss Universe, but I think the world would be a better place if people thought more that way. So after you've had that dialogue with yourself, I hope that at the end of it, if you choose to be anything, you'll choose to be kind. So if you like this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Definitely check out my self-love video that I will link, and I will chat with you all next time. Take care.